expectation that there will be thousands of bills in this legislative session, and the vast majority of them won't go through.
The 2021 Texas legislative session is just around the corner. Monday was the first day to pre-file legislation, and the State House of Representatives website says more than 500 bills have already been filed.
Now, only a fraction of them will actually make it out of committee through both chambers and end up on Governor Abbott's desk. But since the state legislature only meets every other year, there's still a lot to discuss in 2021. 25 News reporter Leah McNeil is breaking it all down.
Well, everything from police reform, abortion restrictions, health care, education funding, and everything else in between could all be on the docket come January. Legislators navigating through it all with a reduced budget. But there's one bill in particular that's grabbing the attention of the Killeen family. I must warn you, some of the video in this story may be considered disturbing to some viewers.
I feel like that's the reason for my brother's death. I feel like the actions that were taken on him against him was for the show.
Kimberly Ambler Jones is still grieving the loss of her brother Javier Ambler. In March of 2019, a deputy says he pursued Javier because he failed to dim his lights for oncoming traffic. Then a vehicle pursuit followed and was filmed for the TV show Live PD, which is now canceled. Cameras caught Williamson County deputies reportedly holding Ambler down and using a taser on him several times.
When I watched the video of Javier's murder, as he cried out that he couldn't breathe, he cried out, "Please save me," I think he was talking to all of us.
When the camera stopped rolling, Javier died. After talking to the Ambler family, Representative James Tallarico introduced House Bill 54, which would stop any police agencies from working with reality TV shows. Tallarico believes reality shows encourage law enforcement officers to use more force than they normally would.
The amount of violent interactions between Williamson County Sheriff's deputies and citizens nearly doubled in the year following Live PD chasing deputies around town. It's up to us to honor his legacy and ensure no person, no family has to endure this type of tragedy ever again in our community.
But House Bill 54 won't be the only piece of legislation Representative Tallarico has on his plate. With the state predicting over $1 billion deficit, Dr. John Kohler thinks it could be a challenge to introduce programs that require a ton of funding, not to mention the small timeline everyone has to agree on redistricting plans.
There will be very little appetite for anything that's going to have any significant appropriations because of the budget shortfall that the state is experiencing. The redistricting is really going to impact people's ability to choose their representatives, right, at the state level and at the federal level.
Dr. Kohler also tells me the vast majority of the bills won't even make it to Governor Abbott's desk. That goes again back to that tight 140-day time frame for the legislative session. But Tallarico believes that his bill will get bipartisan support. For now in Killeen, Leah McNeil, 25 News.
Leah, thank you. Now, state leaders have already said they expect this upcoming session to be one of the toughest in years.